Never fear anybody. If you were worried about the efficacy or the safety of the COVID vaccine, well, Barack Obama, George Bush, and Bill Clinton are going to take it in front of you so you feel safe. Let's talk about it. What is going on, everybody? So George Bush, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton have announced that they are going to publicly take the vaccine in order to market the vaccine, which is weird, right? For a vaccine. That's a whole different discussion we're going to have in this video. But before we get started, of course, you can support this show. Like, this is going to be probably the last video I post on YouTube because we got 2 strikes just today out of nowhere. If we get one more, they're going to remove us. But, you know, it is what it is. So you can follow us on Odyssey. You can follow us, especially on Rockfin. You can support the show by becoming a Rockfin premium member. You can become a YouTube premium member as well. And you can also support us through Patreon or Cash App or PayPal. And of course, you should follow the show by clicking on that link. All of our channels by clicking on that Linktree link in the description below. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Whose man's is this? Obama, Bush, Clinton say they'll take the COVID vaccine publicly to gain public trust. This is all I can say about that. If don't trust this COVID vaccine at all, and even if you didn't trust it before, trust it less than you already did, was a motherfucking headline. Holy omnigendered God. That's basically where I'm at with this. Let's check out this real quick. This article from CNN talking about this. It's so let's go ahead and look at this article, okay? Former presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton are volunteering to get their COVID-19 vaccines on camera to promote public confidence in the vaccine safety once the Food and Drug Administration authorizes one. 3 most recent presidents' hope and awareness campaign to promote confidence in its safety and effectiveness would be a powerful message as American public officials try to convince the public to take the vaccine. Freddie Ford, Bush's chief of staff, told CNN that the 43rd president had reached out to Anthony Fauci. First of all, anything that Anthony Fauci's name is involved in, I'm immediately like, nope, don't want to hear anything about it. Anyway, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and the nation's top infectious disease expert. Also, complete and total opinion. I'm not sure that, like, just because you call yourself the nation's top expert in this, like, you just to get appointed to a position doesn't mean you're actually the nation's top expert. Like, but this once again is the spin, right? This is the marketing campaign. They just told you what they're doing. Now they go on to say that Deborah Birx, the White House coronavirus response coordinator, and they contacted both of them to see how they could help promote the vaccine. Mind you, this is the same vaccine that Kamala Harris said she didn't trust because it came from Trump. And now all these Democrats, I mean, George Bush might as well be a neoliberal. Or who knows, maybe Barack Obama and Bill Clinton should be a Republican. I mean, they're basically the same thing at this point anyway. So there are a few problems with this. Let's just first, I think that a lot of us just want to kind of talk about the obvious real fast. Yeah, so like, this the guy y'all want to be. This the guy that y'all want publicly taking your vaccine to prove that it's safe. You mean the same man who publicly drank Flint water, dirty ass Flint water? That guy? To prove that it was safe so he could defend Rick Snyder, a corrupt Republican governor, which Rick Snyder was responsible for taking people's money. He took people's tax money to sue the people over not paying their water bills because they had lead in their water. Think about that. Barack Obama just did that. And this is not like a grand scheme, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions behind like an effort to make sure that everybody takes something. This was merely a town. This was a town. This man didn't care if people were killed by lead in a town. Like, he got to go talk to these people, sit in front of these people. Like, have one-on-ones. Or not one-on-ones, he's the president, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're in the same room when he was drinking this. Y'all think he care about faking? Like, I don't know, nobody trust Bush. You talking about 3 war criminals, 3 liars. Talking about Barack Obama, the man responsible for open market slavery in Libya. Bill Clinton, Lord, Bill Clinton, he got his own vaccine drama. You know, Bill Clinton was sued over the vaccines because they rushed vaccines in the 90s. They rushed to inoculate soldiers in the 90s because, to make a long story short, basically we gave Saddam some weapons that we was expecting for him to use on Iran, but then Saddam invaded Kuwait. So then, of course, Saddam used the weapons we gave him on us because literally that is all what always happens. And in those weapons were depleted nuclear uranium and some alternative synthesized version of Agent Orange. And so there was a multi-trillion-dollar lawsuit. But you know, the lawsuit was like abruptly ended because all the documents just happened to be moved into the OKC building 2 days before it was bombed. But like, that's super coincidental. I don't get all that, right? Anyway, but in all seriousness, like he was in fact in a multi-trillion-dollar lawsuit over vaccines, over rush vaccines that negatively affected hundreds of thousands, probably millions at this point. Because it was verified that the issues that the soldiers were getting, because they were forced to take vaccines that weren't ready, were being passed on to their kids. So all 3 of these people, I mean, like, Bush is Bush. Jesus told me to go kill all those Muslims in Iraq and Afghanistan, right? Reading this book upside down in Florida when he gets caught, when they call him and tell him 9/11 happened. Yeah, totally. I totally didn't stage this. I did not know this was coming. Anyway, who trusts these people? Nobody. Literally nobody. But it reeks of desperation, in my humble opinion. The words they use: help promote the vaccine, an awareness campaign. Why are they talking about this vaccine as if it's a presidential campaign or political campaign? Oh, because it is. Because this has all been political. This has been political. I mean, everything's politics, but that includes healthcare, as we should know by now. I don't want anything that Barack Obama, George W. Bush, or Bill Clinton signs off on. That wouldn't give me any confidence. But the fact that they got all 3 of them, you get the 2 Republicans, the most popular. 2 Republicans. You get the Republican, right? The most popular president, honestly, unfortunately, but honestly in history at this point, like just sheer popularity, and Bill Clinton, who was one of the most popular, at least most popular presidents of the Democrats specifically, right? Oh, those people were very distinguished, very civil. They would never put something bad in their arm. No, they wouldn't. You're right. But even reading the article, you can tell. Like, they're like, oh, the public, we got to build up public awareness. People don't trust it. How about you address the reasons why people don't trust the vaccine instead of just saying, just trust us, the vaccine is good? Because I don't know if you've noticed, what they do is they put information out. Then people challenge the information. And then when people challenge that information, it's never really, oh, I hear your concerns. This is where you're wrong, or there's some misunderstanding. The A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. That's not what's being done, at least not from what I've seen. What's being done is they say some scientific facts about the vaccine. People express their concerns. People are attacked, ridiculed, deplatformed, deleted, everything. And then what they say is everything that they're saying is wrong. They're just anti-vaxxers. They're just COVID deniers. This is what we're just going to keep saying, the same facts over and over again, and hopefully you believe us. But once again, you have to build up a public awareness campaign. Well, you got to do a marketing strategy for vaccine. You don't have to do it. I mean, there is a quote unquote marketing strategy for the flu, but most people aren't thinking like a lot of people don't get the flu shot, not because they think it's dangerous, just because they're like, I don't feel like I need it. They feel like it's unnecessary. People don't take medicine they feel is unnecessary, generally speaking. But with this in particular, like, you didn't have to convince me to take the polio shot. You had to convince me to take that. Oh, actually, no, they did have to convince people to take that. But I think that was the very first vaccine ever. So I think it's a little bit different. But with this shows me that they are fully aware that there are millions of people, not a couple of 100,000, millions of people who have made it very clear they are not touching this vaccine. They have to get you to buy into this vaccine because, there's a lot of reasons, the money behind it, all that good stuff, but it's mostly like just straight economically speaking. It's mostly about, for this term, getting Joe Biden the economy that they truthfully took from Trump. Like, Trump was, you know how that goes, right? Like, I'm not talking about like actually fixing income inequality and things like that. I'm talking about like how they define a successful economy. They define a successful economy by stock markets, people eating out, things like that. People being back at work, even if it's 2 or 3 jobs. They need you gainfully employed, working for their corporations, making it look as if Joe Biden had a lot of success. And this vaccine, if 50% of the people, I think it's even more than that now, distrust the vaccine and don't get it, then you can't say, hey, and we know for a fact enough people took the vaccine and everything is A-okay. You can't say that, right? Which means you can't justify ending the quote unquote shutdown. Which means, and you either give out stimulus, which you don't want to do because y'all just want to take as much money as you can and give it to corporations. Like, if they think about it, people, think about it. If they give us stimulus, why do you need to bail out? There was an amazing video on Reddit. I wish I would have got it, but a business owner, just going in, saying like, y'all could have given every family $20,000. I've seen all the research. Every family in this country, $20,000 for 2 months with the money you gave those corporations. Think about that. $20,000 for 2 months with the money you gave those corporations. If they gave us stimulus, then you don't need it. You don't have an excuse to give $4 trillion in free money. Corporations, small businesses they didn't get grants. They got loans. They got the PPP loans. Corporations got free money and they use the excuse what? Well, people can't shop because they're out of work. So they gave us a little bit of unemployment. Some people got stimulus checks, not everybody. Then they said, we're not gonna give you anything else. So while you struggle, like, that was their excuse. Your struggle means corporations have to get money. Corporation struggle doesn't mean we get money though. Somehow it doesn't work in the reverse though. It means they get bailed out with our money again. And that's what it's ultimately about. Coming up with excuses to transfer wealth from the working class into the pockets of the elite. Ultimately, that is what this all comes down to. And once again, this the guy. This the guy. That's who y'all trust. All right, y'all. Good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. I'm gonna chill over here. I'm gonna take my vitamin C. I'm gonna over here take my vitamin C, my vitamin D. I'm gonna work out regularly. I'm gonna take preventative measures, and if I do get it, I'm gonna go to my doctor, who's from Cuba and knows what he's doing. Good luck, everybody else, though, and good luck to whoever takes that vaccine. Because if the chairman just came out and said, we don't even know if the virus or the vaccine doesn't prevent the spread of the virus. If that's what they're talking about, he said, we haven't even done the work, but they've already submitted the approval for the vaccine in Great Britain, already approved Pfizer's vaccine. The chairman of Pfizer just said they haven't even started to do the work to figure out whether or not the virus can spread through touch. If you get, or excuse me, just in general, my apologies, if you get the vaccine. So now you could be potentially inoculating yourself with the virus and the very people that you intended on saving, because if you're young, you're probably not like worried about yourself as much. The virus doesn't really affect us to the degree that it affects with somebody with comorbidities or somebody who's older. But the whole reason a lot of people are getting it, and the main reason that people are saying we have to get it, is what? You don't want to infect anybody else. You don't want to put somebody who may be vulnerable in danger. But now if you get the vaccine, you are potentially putting them in guaranteed danger, because before, maybe you didn't have the virus at all. Maybe you didn't taking all the proper precautions to make sure you didn't get the virus. Maybe you've done a good job at doing that thus far. So you haven't put your family or friends in a position where they can contract the virus from you. But now, if millions and millions of people get the vaccine, there is no way that you're going to save those. If what the chairman is saying is true, there is potentially no way for you to prevent your loved ones, the people who we are worried about, the most vulnerable, the ones that people are throwing at our feet, saying this is why you have to get the vaccine. Like this, if this chairman, what the chairman said is true, then you might be putting them in danger, and there would be no way to prevent them from being around that virus. If that virus can spread potentially, like the chairman just suggested, because he doesn't know if it can or cannot. If that virus does spread, once again, the loved ones that you were trying to protect, they're going to be in more danger and potentially in a worse situation, because we all know what viruses do whenever vaccines like this one are created. They mutate, they become stronger, they potentially become more dangerous. So y'all can take that. Good luck with that. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into that segment of Mikasa Sukasa. And always remember, more than anything else, find your balance.